extent. I don't think it's exact. He thinks it's pretty much
So
the exact.
sorry.
I'm still talking. Yeah, I agree with Banjo on the AE to a certain extent. I don't think it's exact. He thinks it's pretty much
So
the exact AE projection. I think it's most likely a little bit different
can
than
I
it.
ask about the map?
Dude, the AE projection is precisely a globe.
Well, that's what I
was
agree, but
talking
I
to
no, I totally agree.
QMP.
That's why I don't think it's
No.
exact.
He said the flat Earth has an edge.
No, I didn't say the flat Earth has an edge.
Benjo said you agree with him. There is an edge. So there is no edge.
Edge in what sense? Like to the oceans?
Like if a shape, you demand a certain shape of something being flat, you have two options. Either you have an edge to the plane, or you don't have an edge to the plane. And in that show that only happened yesterday and you don't remember, you kind of both agreed there is a ice wall and an edge.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I agree. Yeah, there's an ice wall. I think. Yeah, that's not really an edge like to
thank
the
you
flat
for
Earth.
being on it.
But that's not an edge to flat Earth. That's an edge to the boundary of the ocean.
Boundary of the ocean? What do you mean?
I mean, there's land surrounding the ocean. That's what stops it from continuing to be ocean.
How many continents there are?
Are you just quizzing me on random globe things?
No,
I think
I'm just trying to understand your map.
I don't think it's like a purely like an Antarctic ice wall all around. I think there's different lands in different directions.
Okay, so you said they didn't went to Antarctica. Still, I don't know why, but why do you think that?
I have like, did you watch any of my videos on that?
Yeah, they were trash.
They were
Like,
trash.
Like pure white trash.
It's not much of an argument.
Flat Earth trash.
Yeah, you got to provide a better argument than that. That's like a nuh-uh.
Weren't you asking for gold proof?
Yeah, I mean, but whatever.
You want a debug for your trashy samurai video?
Sure.
This guy is a total troll. He's hanging out Dorbo next. I've dealt with
like
him
on
before.
what point? Trashy samurai video?
Sure.
This guy is a total troll. He's hanging out Dorbo next. I've dealt with
like
him
on
before.
what point?
He's LARPing as a flat earther now. I mean, he's a complete idiot this year.
You actually thought I was a flat earther for a second?
No, moron. Shut the fuck up. I know.
Are you some bottom bitch? What's wrong with you?
What's wrong with you? You're the idiot here. The dumbest guy in the room.
Sure, dude. I don't call myself a flat earth judge. That's why I'm not special like you.
Yeah, if you did, it'd be very confusing, right?
Yet I was talking to QMP and I have his whole army of gay wads attacking me for what?
Do you have anything other than trolling to add?
This is boring.
DJ, shut the fuck up. We are talking about his video. How did you debunk the globe in your video? I thought it was debunking Ellen and Shane.
Ellen and Shane. What did you say?
Ellen and Shane, whatever his name is.
Oh, Alan and Shane. He said
that was
Element
part of
Shade.
the That was part of the TFE and part of the Globe debunk.
Yeah, and all of it was using the globe to debunk the globe.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I don't.
Can't stand up to its own claims.
My latest video, like on Celestial Theodolite, doesn't really address how the globe misinterprets the stars. Well, it does, but it's not. It's more addressing the method from Allen and Shane being like a globe psyop to get flat earthers to start treating the stars like the globe does to measure the Earth.
Did you
Oh yeah, Q-Up. I have something to say to that. I've been
not a psyop.
Yeah, can you let Yoder talk? You probably have
yeah. So they came to me. They came to me about a year and a half ago before this went public, asking for my opinion on this.
Dude.
And I did not bless off on it for some of the reasons you spoke up of. And it's been endlessly frustrating watching them go through now 34 goalpost maneuvers to try and save this argument. where at the end of the day, they're using Stellarium as a flat Earth simulator. But one of the things that frustrated me is I have two clips, video clips of Dr. Heffron twice stating that the geometric consequences of this claim is ray parallelism on a flat Earth, and that's geometrically incomprehensible.
Yeah, I agree.
That alone kills it.
I actually on my channel I added the I think it's the last two Celestial Theodolite presentations that they have on space audits, and Alan actually both of them are basically just him and me. So in my video I actually say that they wouldn't debate me on it, but actually like right after I finished my video, Alan actually just addressed all of my arguments, because I guess a lot of people like heard that I made a video on it, so he was trying to pretend like he's actually addressing it, but he pretty much just conceded to everything I said. So the whole thing, based on like if you just listen to me and him talking, like he concedes that the starlight isn't traveling straight. It's just an apparent position. He conceded that the globe is reverse engineered from our optical view of things, and that the mountains are in the same place for each of us. And he also conceded that they basically switched the method from the star occlusion happening first for the flat Earth, and now latest for the flat Earth because
Okay,
of
so
yeah.
wait.
Initially, so
he
before
is the
either of
grifter,
those,
but what are you? You have
before
no
either
one.
of those, they actually blamed it on the theodolite optic itself.
Yeah,
Like that's what's been so frustrating, is they keep changing and maneuvering. They initially had what was called the Heffron Delta in the initial paper, which was basically a plug, a scaling factor essentially to scale with the flat Earth, that they blamed on some unknown yet to be discovered optical phenomenon.
Yeah, it's actually pretty funny. Like even after like Alan can like basically agreed that they did switch the method, or the way he frames it is that they switched how they explain their method, but it's like obviously like they obviously switched it like completely. If you watch my video, I show how they used to explain it, and now how they explain it. And
yeah, I did. It was good.
yeah, and even after that, Alan or some other guy one of their other guys piped up, and he said that Heffron has recently come up with another excuse for why the occlusion timing is not always exact for the flat Earth prediction, and it's like based on parallax, and it's just like the whole problem is that like they're actually the whole problem isn't like within like like it is within the celestial theodolite method, but it's more that they used to basically say the opposite of this. They used to say that we can't treat the stars positions having any relationship with the flat Earth itself, and it's just because optics causes everything's apparent positions to change, you know, day to day. So they're just trying to find a way to cherry pick to set up the equations so that they can basically cherry pick the occlusion timing to reflect the flat Earth prediction, which is it's all ad hoc. It's all the whole thing is what the globe does.
Absolutely ad hoc. I mean, never mind too the very setup. They're using low grazing angles within 1 degree elevation, no less. And I don't know of any nautical or surveying manual that says, hey, if you want to be precise, why don't you use the stars that are closest to the horizon? You know
It's
what I
pretty
mean?
bad.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's awful.
I'm pretty new to flat Earth. I'm like 2 years or so in, and I came in through I came into Discord through listening to Whitsid, Allen, and Shane. So I know all their arguments, and for some reason, the sheep within that listen to them the most don't notice how much of a 180 this is from what they used to say, and it's actually pretty crazy because like they're so like they have like those like star eyes for their leaders, and they're like and Alan and Shane don't really describe anything simply or geometrically. They just with the celestial theodolite, they're just explaining everything with what the math they do is, and they're actually doing the same thing that they've been showing that the globe has done to us, which is using very complex math formulas that are completely ad hoc and post hoc and claim victory and somehow like their model being the most accurate when every every model, if you account for like what goes on in the sky every day, you can't you're not going to have a consistent model like with what happens in the sky ever.
Yeah, I mean, it's a train wreck from start to finish. You got it. I mean, they're backfitting data at the end of the day, which is something that we accuse them of doing. And then when our side or people reporting to be from it end up doing the same, it makes us look like hypocrites.
Well, that's why I actually I know that Alan and Shane are in on the whole TFE like scam. So this came right after Witsit comes back and he says, "Oh, the symmetry of the globe of the what the globe model has claimed of the sun having a two 24-hour sun rotations north and south is real. We're just gonna have to deal with it." And now Alan and Shane are like, you know what? We can also just treat stellarium as completely accurate and actually use it to our advantage. And it's like, all right, the a lot of those guys, the flat Earth model they're they're being left with is pretty much the like an irreconcilable like flat Earth inside a exact geometric globe star map.
Yeah, I mean, they're trying to model things without performing actual measurements. Yeah, you've got star occultation timing. You've got calculated globe distances, though. You've got all kinds of other things. You've got narrow glancing angles to the horizon, and you're using, in place of actual real world observations on mountain peaks, synthetic observations. Oh, and then you're
Yeah,
drawing on your diagrams in an orthometric perspective. You're drawing the same elevation angle to the top of a peak as to the same angle to the observer that's like 60 miles away,
yeah,
which
they're
would
doing.
not be the case in either flat or globe representations. So the
Yeah, they're
whole
not.
thing, start to finish, is a gigantic train wreck, dude. And I'm just like embarrassed for them, and I can't figure out too, like, what happened.
No,
What
it's a.
happened to
I
these
mean,
guys?
yeah, they're on the same team as Witsit, and it's they're people that are set up to basically lead flat Earth in different directions that make no sense, so that we
I
don't have
sure
like
hope not.
cohesive, simple model to lay out to people.
I sure hope not. But
I mean, did you watch my part two video? So in my part two video, I showed. Well, unfortunately, we don't have a recording of a private call that I and other people was on silent. Were you there when we heard the call on either cause in my older server?
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah.
I don't
So
remember it to a T, but because I was
yeah.
like
So
kind of not paying attention, but I do
it was
remember it.
it was after Witsit. Well, after Witsit came back and the whole VapeGate thing, I was giving them a lot of shit in Earth Awakenings about VapeGate, and they all convened in Ether Cause in like a mod only room, and I had a mod in one of my servers, which was like an older one. Um, his name was Clearview, so I didn't mention that in the video because I didn't want to like call him out, because he's the one so Clearview basically he tells us about this private call, and then I'm like, oh bro, go fucking in, because the reason I told him that he told us about it and why I told him to go in to play it for us is because fucking Geo from Earth Awakenings was in there with them, and Geo never leaves his server. It was so crazy, and that's why, like in my part two video, I show a clip of me calling out Geo and telling him the story, and Geo freaks the fuck out because it's so suspicious that Geo was in there talking with Witsit and Riggs and Alan and Shane about how to basically do damage control for having faked his breath in Antarctica. But they're all in on it, all those guys.
meanwhile, I have no problem conceding that there might be a place on Earth where you can witness the sun do what it's observed to be doing. What I've witnessed from these guys over the past few years is they're trying to save a dome concept of some kind, which is just an illusion anyway of your eyes. Nobody, flat or globe, should accept any celestial sphere model. I mean, Globers are like, yeah, duh. I mean, it's just a model. The heavens aren't really in a sphere, but this really comes from the Flat Earth Society. Ultimately, for people on our side who are trying to represent this, they want to rescue like the 69 mile to 1 degree rule, which to my knowledge has not been independently validated outside of circular reasoning using GPS and maps in the first instance. I mean, there was a guy named Jean Ricker in France in like 1672 who tried to validate it using a wagon wheel, like taking his medieval wagon from Paris to some town up north, counting the revolutions of the wagon wheel. I'm not even joking.
Well, we have cars now. I mean, that would work.
Yeah. I mean, another thing, like I've not seen any evidence that there's anybody that's ever obtained on a 90-degree angle to Polaris from the horizon. Like nobody's actually been able to say that they've been underneath Polaris. Boom, here's the evidence. You know what I mean? And certainly that hasn't happened in the South either. You know, and there's issues with the stars in the sky. Like they're not symmetrical in their outlayer and their motions. This was encountered in the 1730s when they were trying to figure out if Earth was a prolate or oblate spheroid, which really just means it's a star structure potentially perceived as oblate or prolate.
Well, they decided on oblate.
They did. They decided on oblate. Isaac Newton for the win, I guess. They
Yeah, I mean,
decided on
really,
oblate after sending teams to Lapland and Peru in the mid 1700s to go study and figure it out, to see how much distance they could cover and watch angular rotation in the sky. And I don't know about you guys, but in the 1750s or whenever this was done, like, and you're in Peru, like, what kind of infrastructure do you have? What happens if you get a toothache, or did you twist an ankle? Did any natives encounter you and try to eat you? Like, what's going on? The story's just fantastic in and of itself, but that's how they claim to have figured it out. Point being, guys, there's tons of room still left for FE, no matter what they throw at us. In fact, I think the gap just even widens between them and us.
Sorry, I was doing something. I'm not sure if you addressed me with any questions or anything.
No, man, just rambling.
Yeah, good. I unmuted Borat just because I don't hear any other Globers. It's not my first choice.
I'm still waiting for the FE part. Like, you don't have a model, you have a denial of reality.
Well, our model for like how the sky works is not relevant to the Earth being measured flat.
That's who.
I mean, it's called flat Earth. It's not called like
Where is it
a
coming
model
from?
of the sky.
It's not relevant. When you research a question, you use all the evidence available to you.
Yeah, why
The
don't you
sky
try?
is
Why
part
don't
of
you
the
shut up
evidence.
and measure the curvature of the Earth, and then we'll all shut up. That's all you got to do. Your Achilles heel